Welcome. You've got mail.
What's up, Brett? Welcome to the mail-in. I'm Kayla.
Are you frozen solid from last week?
It is 82 degrees outside, so no, I'm not.
Oh, my goodness.
What a change.
11 days in Jackson, huh?
11 days in Jackson.
That's like sounds like a book.
It really does.
Maybe a rom-com.
It was a rom-com. I lived a romantic comedy for 11 days.
Did everything hold up? Is everything good?
Everything is fine. Yeah, it was great. I'm back, and my apartment was in one piece. Everything is still standing, so,
No travel debacles this
No,
time?
I got home effortlessly.
How about that?
Yeah, great times.
You may be wondering, if you're here for the first time, what is the Mail-In Podcast? Simply put, we do our best to answer your questions. You may run into situations in your 20s or 30s or 40s or teens, I don't know, any situation that you may need help with, and we know what you're going through, and we're going to help you get through them. Kayla,
Brett.
try to make you laugh, try to make you smile, we try to make you think, and we try to make you remember a situation you've been in that you may have been in yourself. Excuse me.
What are you saying?
We make you laugh. We make you smile. We try to make you think. We try to make you remember a situation you've been in that you may have been in yourself before that you got through.
Wow. Deep cuts.
Now, how can you help us out? Tell a friend about the Mail-In Podcast. It's the easiest way to get into the Washed Media Network. Hop in here and just easy listening, right, Kayla?
Easy listening.
Do us a favor and subscribe on iTunes, follow on Spotify, and call in and give us some content to work with. We have great voicemails. We have great questions all the time. Here's how you contribute. 888-362-MAIL. That's 888-362-6245. And mail like the letter, not the gender. We'll get you into the voicemail hotline. Or you can write in at the link in the Twitter or Instagram bio at Mail-In Podcast. And the new feature alert, not even new at this point, but if you're on Spotify, there is a box at the bottom of this description of the episode that allows you to write in your questions there. So plenty of ways to get in.
Too many ways.
Kayla, do you have any follow-ups from last week?
I have a few. So first of all, I got a lot of feedback regarding lab-grown diamonds. All very positive, but from both receivers of lab-grown diamonds and givers of lab-grown diamonds. So really the consensus is that they are worth it. You're saving money. You're getting a better or bigger, more grander ring than a natural diamond, and they're ethically you don't have to feel bad about having a blood diamond.
Oh,
so that's one thing to think about. Environmentally friendly. So that was one
zero
thing.
Carbon footprint.
So if you guys were on the fence about them, I'm here
joke.
just to tell you just to do it. Go for it.
Okay.
Next, I want to apologize for those people that have sent me messages to set them up, as I did send out a call to action on this. I have not gotten around to it, but I will be doing something about it this week. So just hold on tight.
These are friend setups, or are these romantic
everything.
setups?
Everything. I'm a matchmaker now. Friend, romantic, everything.
Wow. So keep an eye out for Kayla in the matchmaking.
If it goes well, I'm going to start charging for this.
You should
Millionaire matchmaker.
A relationship consultant.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Or friendship consultant.
I'm going to start making you guys do a quiz before I set you up with your friends to see who you're most compatible with.
Yeah. What is your criteria at this point?
I mean, I don't have any, just people that want friends.
In the same city. That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So look out. It's happening.
This week on the Mail-In Podcast, we have 8 questions, 2 of which are voicemails. We are very excited to get into them. Kayla, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. This first one comes from Patrick. Patrick asks us, hey guys, my girlfriend and I have been dating for 5 years, living together for 3, so popping the big question has definitely been on my mind, and the pressure has been on as some of our friends are starting to get engaged. However, I am worried about joining our finances. I don't want to be selfish or materialistic, but I am hesitant to inherit her financial issues. She is currently in a bit of a career slump working minimum wage jobs while she figures out what she wants to do next. She has over $5K in credit card debt, and it's only getting bigger and already has a terrible credit score. I, on the other hand, run my own business, own the house we live in, have a great credit score, and 0 credit card debt. Am I wrong for maybe not wanting to get engaged until her finances are a little more stable? If so, should this be something she and I talk about with full transparency? Would love your input on the situation. Let's talk finances, Kayla.
Finances.
This is like a financial episode.
Well, first of all, I'm going to be the one that says $5,000 of credit card debt is not a deal breaker. If that was in the double digits, I would be a little more concerned. That seems like a somewhat average, if lower than average amount of credit card debt. But he does say it's getting bigger, so that's the cause to be concerned about, I suppose.
Yep. It seems like she cannot pay down that credit card
Yes, and that's
debt.
just getting worse.
Yeah.
I do think he does ask if they should have a conversation with full transparency. 1,000%. I think that's your first step. And in terms of getting married, I don't think that it's not frowned upon, or nor is it a bad decision to maybe consider a prenuptial agreement, which people do these days to separate them from their their spouse's debt. That's a thing that is very common, especially with the rising student debt.
I was going to say, it used to be something that was like a celebrity thing.
It happens all the time now.
Now it's much more common.
Yeah.
Again, $5,000 in credit card debt. I've been there. I mean, everybody has. I don't want to debt shame people here.
No.
Because at some point, like when I moved down here, for example, I basically had to move on a credit card because I was in between working jobs at 25. So don't debt shame people. There's reasons for getting into it. There's a lot of ways to get out of it. And I don't think this is a deal breaker. And I don't think that having 0 credit card debt is like this. I don't want you to get preachy for having no credit card debt.
I totally agree.
There's nothing wrong.
Good for you, and that's an accomplishment. But also, other people may not be as informed on how to do it. How to start the credit card and be able to do it. Because that's one thing I will say. It's like no one teaches you how to have a credit card. You don't learn about it. You really don't learn about it. And it took my very first credit card experience was terrible. I didn't understand how it worked. I didn't get it. And so it led to a pretty shoddy situation that I resolved it. But it's just you don't know how to do it.
Nobody has ever taught.
You don't learn this in school. We learn everything except for how to actually be a grown up with financial things to worry about. So
he mentioned full transparency here. I think you mentioned it as well. Obviously, the conversation is one that you need to have before you're thinking about getting engaged. Well, I know you're thinking about it before you do get engaged. You need to be having this conversation about finances. Where y'all are headed in that direction, but I don't want you to shame her. Don't get I'm not marrying you unless you take care of your credit card debt. That should never. That's not what marriage is about.
That won't make her feel good.
That'll
either.
make her feel terrible. I don't want that to ever be the end all be all on why you don't get married to the person you love. That seems to me crazy. But
and I do think that talking about it and maybe presenting the option of the prenup would be something you definitely need to do just to make sure that you explain
like that's even
it.
Aggressive. That also would put her in a terrible mood.
But I would explain it just kind of being I'm not doing this because I'm anticipating a divorce. I just want to make sure that our finances are kept separate. That's what you should do. I don't know.
But I don't know.
I
think that's a little much.
I wouldn't be offended if I knew all these things about myself, that I had a credit card that was only increasing with debt, and if I knew I had a bad credit score, I wouldn't feel badly if someone came to me with concern about it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think that if it's a problem where she's actively just buying
shit she doesn't
need,
that is something that would kind of tick me off. If I knew that you have this problem, but yet then every day something is arriving that you're buying that you don't need.
Right. Yeah. If it's if it's not a financial literacy issue, or it's not circumstantial issue. If it's like a genuine,
Yes, like she uses it to live. She survives
psychological,
on it. Yeah.
not problem, but she's genuinely using the credit card for materialistic purchases that she doesn't need, or like obviously there's a wrong way to use a credit card. If that's the case, I think I'd have a different answer. But as is, it sounds like it's just kind of like the way she's surviving.
Yeah. Without the context of how she's using it, it's hard for us to get, into specifics or into anything a little deeper than that, just because we really don't know how she's using it.
Yeah.
But the credit score is something I had that happen to me because I had my identity stolen. So I had a shitty credit score for a bit. But that's one thing that is hard to change. It's really, really hard to make that better. So that's in the future, if you're married and you want to buy a new house, that will probably really screw you because your interest rates are going to be pretty high if she has a bad score. So that's something to, think about as well. That's kind of makes it a little difficult. That's maybe where he's coming from, just like in terms of growing their future together. That's going to be something that brings them both down.
And if you do want to eventually marry this girl, she's going to be part of your life. So work with her. You have a great financial situation. That's something to commend, but work with her to get out of whatever situation she may be in, with a job, with a financial plan. Right. And that's like, don't berate her for that, I guess.
I agree. One other suggestion, this may be a little controversial, but if you do get married, if it is a spending problem that she has, not like a survival problem, if it is just like buying things she doesn't need, that becomes a situation where I feel like as a married couple, you need to discuss a budget. You need to have spreadsheets. You need to have things, you don't want to be spending beyond your means, especially if she has the potential to overspend. That's something you definitely, and then if you get married and have children, it will only make it worse. So that's something that I do think you should probably address sooner and let her know, not your expectations, but just if we get married and I can't continue if you're going to just be spending very irresponsibly.
Sure.
But yeah, definitely conversation. You have to have a conversation. And it may be it's going to be hard to not offend, I do feel like, but just choose your words carefully and don't preach.
Agreed. You know what you can preach, though?
What can you preach?
Quality at a fair price, especially with our friends at Harry's. Too often we're choosing between quality or a fair price. With Harry's, you do not have to choose because they give you award-winning blades at factory direct prices. I'm on Harry's now, Kayla.
Well, tell us about Harry's, Brett.
I'm shaving better than I've ever shaved in my life.
So, okay. And why is that?
Because it's just comfortable, it's convenient, it doesn't nick, it doesn't tug, it doesn't tag. It's just it's one of those razors that I was an electric guy for a long time.
Oh yeah, my dad used to keep his in his console of his truck, and every morning he would shave on his way to work.
That's a lot. I don't do that, but so I'm new to the blade shave game, and what I've found is that it makes my skin feel better afterwards. It comes in a little darker after I shave, so it's I kind of have scruff for the first time.
Shaving is a natural exfoliant for your skin. So shaving, not natural, but it's like an exfoliant. So if you use a razor, you're actually exfoliating your skin as well as, shaving the hair off. So you're going to have a glowing complexion.
Interesting. And it's kind of like a badass little razor too. It's got
men's razors are so nice, and the girl ones we just get these little pink things. Men's razors are so much better.
You probably use a Harry's.
Oh, I will.
Harry's delivers a close, comfortable shave at a fair price, only $2 per refill on the blades. Look at that.
That's pretty
Harry's
cheap.
believes in quality so much that they bought their own factory in Germany so they could own every step of the manufacturing process. How about that? How do they do that, Kayla? Simple. They combined an ergonomic design with 5 sharp blades. That's me. That's me Harry'sing.
Harry'sing. Okay.
Their German factory is one of the select few manufacturers in the world that have mastered the technology to create a Gothic arch.
That sounds
The
intense.
gold standard for razor blade grinding. That's above my pay grade, but it sounds like they have it figured out. They have a 100% quality guarantee behind the quality of their blades. They stand behind the quality of their blades so much that they have a 100% money-back guarantee. How about that? If you don't like it, just send it back.
But you're going to love it, so
But
you
you're
don't
going
even
to
need to
love
do that.
it because it's close, it's comfortable, and it makes you feel kind of like manlier shaving with a razor like that.
The shaving commercials, I mean, that just seems like such like a cool thing to do as a guy.
You ready for this? Here's how you get your Harrys. Here's how you step your shave game up. I don't care where you shave. I just know you want to step your game up. For a limited time, Harry's has an exclusive offer for listeners of this very show. New customers can get a Harry's starter set and a free body wash for just $3. Do you hear that?
$3.
$3 for the whole kit. Harrys.com/mail-in. That's over a $16 value for $3. That's crazy. Upgrade your shave game for $3. Here's what you get. A 5-blade razor, the weighted handle, foaming shave gel, a travel cover, and a travel size
For
body wash
$3?
for $3.
$3?
How about that deal? It's incredible.
That's insane.
But act fast while supplies last. Go to harrys.com/mail-in to redeem your offer. Kayla, how about a voicemail?
Let's hear it.
Is that the voicemail button?
No, it's doo-doo-doo-doo.
There it is.
Yeah.
Hi, Brett and Kayla. I just got my first big girl job, so I'm trying to, start building my savings. But I'm in my 20s, so I obviously still want to have money to have fun. What do you guys think is an appropriate amount of each paycheck to be putting in my savings? Like 10%, 15%, 5%? I don't know. Help me out. Love you guys. Bye.
Again, the personal finance
This
episode.
is hashtag finance episode.
I love this question because there's no right answer.
Yeah.
The correct answer is what you can afford.
That's very true.
The internet will tell you 10%. The internet will tell you 15%. The internet will tell you some random number that does not consider any cost of living, any situation, whatever. The correct answer is what you can afford. 10% is a good ballpark. But then again, I think I'm a little different because I don't save for retirement. I save for a lake house or a car or a boat. Like my savings, I say savings. My accounts that I invest in are meant to be for fun purchases down the line. Some of that will be retirement, I'm sure, but I think my time horizon, I tend to look a little shorter, and I tend to I'm going to want to take an awesome vacation when I'm 30-something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saving for that already by investing.
Fun money in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that I didn't save any money at 24, 23, 22.
No.
And
not at all.
that's fine. If you are in a situation where you're for example, I lived in New York City,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't afford it. I was coming down, my
Mm-hmm.
bank account would have double digits at the end of a pay period sometimes where I was like, I got $42 in here and
Been there.
I got to go get pasta.
Yeah.
That there are situations depending on where you live and what your job is, and that sometimes you just can't, and that's okay, especially at 22, 23, 24.
Yeah, it's understandable. I mean, the way that I see it is you need to figure out how much your paychecks are going to be.
Yeah.
And you won't know that again until once you've been on the job for a couple of weeks and you get your first check. And then you plan out your rent, your utilities, your car payment. You get everything situated. Then you see what your balance will be.
Spreadsheets are your best friend.
Yeah. If you can budget, I'm really bad at setting numbers for
Mm-hmm.
budgets. I just always know in my mind how much I have left after I paid my credit card, I paid my car, pay my rent, and then that, depending on what it is that month, that's what I decide on how much I'm going to transfer over.
Mm-hmm.
There is something that I used to use, actually. It doesn't work with my bank account anymore, but there's an app called Digit.
Okay.
Have you heard of Digit, Brett? This
Maybe.
is not an ad. Digit connects to your checking account.
Okay.
And every couple days, it will like check in and see what your balance is. And depending on your balance, it will pull a very small percentage of that and put it into their own little savings account. So if you only have $20 in there, then they'll pull like $1.
Yeah.
And it's such small amounts, and it's every few days that you don't even notice it's happening. And then after a few months, you have a couple $100 in there, and you're like, how did that happen?
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
I loved having a Digit because I wouldn't even think about it. Then something would come around where I'm like, oh shit, I'm going on a trip and I don't have any spending money. Like I forgot to budget for that spending money. Like after you plan for the trip, then I'm like, oh, I have my Digit balance. And it's a really cool app that if it connects to your bank, I think it's incredible because you don't even know that it's you don't notice the money's gone. But
Gotcha.
that's on top of actually already pulling from your. I would definitely do a regular savings account, but that's just like one thing to think of.
Yeah, there are so many products nowadays that you can use in this personal finance. Like I want to kind of get started in putting money away. There's Betterment and like Acorns, for example, rounds up every purchase you make. So say you buy coffee for $5.14. It puts the other like $86
I was like,
or 86 cents.
Took me way too long to do the
me
math.
too. Puts the other 86 cents and invests it for you. So it rounds up every purchase to a dollar amount. And like over the course of a month, all of a sudden you have like $72.
Yeah.
And then it's automatically investing that. So the next month you all have $156. And you like the spending money that you talked about, you're like, holy shit, I can pull some of this out and do something with it and not even think about it. So there are so many ways to go down a personal financial path. Some people are super long term, and that's why they like stuff their 401k, which I have my own opinions about, but I digress. If your company's not matching any 401k money, you're better off doing it by yourself. Just saying.
That's very true.
But that's like an extreme long term, right? Because you can't touch it without a huge penalty until you're 50 something. There's the shorter term stuff, like not popular to say right now, but have a Robinhood account that you can automatically deposit something each month. But the start of this question always begins with budget. Do not even have a percentage number in your brain until you know what is left over.
And I don't love the percentage. I just think like
it's all situational.
Say you pay all your bills and you somehow have a couple extra $100 than you normally do. Then put that in there. Like I like to just look at it and based on what I see in there after everything's paid is I'm like say I'm doing something later that month that I know I'm gonna need a couple extra bucks for. Then I won't put as much that month. But you always should do something, whether it's $10, whether it's $500, like you always should do something just because you don't want to like have a pay period go by that's wasted on not contributing.
Yeah, but there's the other argument like where I tell my friends this. I'm like, your people go savings broke, and what I mean by that is they put so much away and they invest so much that they don't want to do things, or they do it, but they put everything on credit in the near term. It's like you're going to want to live your life at some point, and you're going to want to take a trip and buy new skis, or like don't paralyze yourself by thinking for 52-year-old Kayla or 52-year-old.
I'm never going to be 52, Brett. Never.
But that's what I mean. Like don't at some point I'm all for saving what's comfortable and saving what's good, and there's no right, but everybody's different. But don't put yourself in a bind because you're saving too much money and like missing out on something in your life.
There's one thing that I always think about. There's also a really funny like Kevin Hart comedy special where he talks about this, where you put a lot of your check into your savings and then as you need it, you transfer it over. If you don't, that is if you have unlimited transfers. Yeah. And there's a whole, like I used to do this. Like I would put my whole check in my savings. Then whenever I'd be at the grocery store, I would transfer over like $80.
Oh, into your checking?
And I would do it every single time I would do something just to like check and balance myself. But then sometimes it's like you're trying to buy something and you're like, hold on. You see? And his whole bit's like, you see, I put everything in then my savings again, then I got to put it over into my checking. And it's really funny.
Usually savings account gives you a little juice on that too. I think the rates are like 0.15% at this point on savings accounts, and CDs are like 1.15, so not exactly crushing it. But
Well, moral of the story, what you can afford. Every little bit counts, and if you need to pull from it, you also need to have like emergency funds too. Like
rainy day fund.
What? Rainy day
The
fund.
rainy day fund.
Yeah.
If you really want resources better than Kayla and
yeah. I would look it up.
YouTube is so good
Really?
for this stuff, because it's one thing to read articles and see the 10% that, like, these are people that are speaking out of situations where they have plenty of money and they don't realize the situations that people are in their mid-20s.
There's also lots of Instagram accounts about budgeting
Yeah.
too, that like they provide you with like papers you can print out where you write in your budget, and then it helps you to figure out everything there, and you can put them in binders. Actually, that's going to be my New Year's resolution.
Budget?
Yeah.
It's I'll show you my spreadsheet after
Oh.
the show.
Okay.
It's
Well, see,
colorful
I had
and balanced out, and I have my like contributions to my investment accounts. It's all it's probably the best thing I've done for my financial health since calling my credit card company and saying that my credit score is terrible because I had a loan that I didn't know about for school. Did I ever tell you this story?
no, but we don't need to get into it.
I had 100 late payments because it was like one of those bundled student loans. So it was 10 loans in one. So each month I was getting 10 late payments. And then they were sending the notices to my old apartment in Boston.
And you weren't getting it.
Which I hadn't lived. But like could did a phone call would have sufficed. And maybe a voicemail. But no, they had to lapse like 100 late payments. So.
Well, what was that app that a couple years ago came out? Okay, because I got it, and it was like where you go on there and you budget for like your entertainment, your meals, and then it would like email you and be like, you were 100% over budget for meals this month. I did that, and it just shamed me every month, so I just got rid of it because I didn't want to know.
Well, a lot of the times too, like people just don't realize how much you spent.
I don't want to know that I spent this much on retail. Like, don't tell me that. Like, out of sight, out of mind.
You budget $100 for groceries a week, and all of a sudden you spend $90 at H-E-B on like dinner for 2 days and wine, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a second.
Yeah, and those emails, they are like taunting you, and they're like mean. It's like very condescending.
Should I put my my budget template on?
Oh
like,
yeah, Brett, let everyone see it.
Not,
Share it.
I won't share my budget. I will share.
No,
my
well,
template.
not your budget, but you know, like this is a spreadsheet.
Perfect. Let's do a more lighthearted one, shall we?
Let's go.
Oop. There we go. This one's from Jack. Jack says, what is the most condescending but friendly, but not friendly, name a guy can call another guy that he doesn't know? For example, hey guy, or hey pal, or hey chief,
Okay.
bud, buddy, bro, dude, kid. Vice versa for girls. Sweetie, honey. Can't think of a ton more. Help me out here, Kayla. That comes from Jack. What is the most condescending thing you can hear from a non-pal?
If someone calls me sweetie,
Hey, sweetie.
I'm coming at you with some attitude.
Ooh.
If I don't know you and you're a man and you're calling me sweetie and you're not like someone's dad, like, or a older family member, I am not okay with being called sweetie really in any capacity.
I'm just thinking of like
Honey.
somebody at a bar being like,
Honey's like something I feel like husbands
Sugar.
call wives. You know, like honey's it's like very, I don't know.
honey. Ugh.
I can't think of anything else for
The-
girls, but as far as guys go, I
It's
feel
buddy.
like I think that like buddy is fine. Bro, if you're younger, I feel like you can get away with bro, but calling a guy chief or pal, guy,
Buddy and
dude.
chief are, if you did a hey buddy,
Didn't you say it was buddy?
yeah, there's hands being thrown.
Wait, which one do you think is
What's up, buddy?
Which one do you think is the best one? Like, what are you using?
Oh, I love guy.
Guy? Hey, guy.
Hey, guy.
See,
I say pal too.
I say
think that
girl, not girl. I say lady. Like, especially if it's like somebody I don't really talk to a lot and I need something, I want to ask a question, I say hey, lady a lot.
Okay.
But it's not like hey, lady. No, it's like hey, lady instead of girl, because I will never be a hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. No,
I
never.
I don't hate that, but For me, I use hey pal and hey guy all the time, and I think it might come off as condescending. So I apologize if my friends are like, "Yeah, dude."
I feel like I feel like hey guy is like a where you're from kind of thing. I don't think I've ever heard anybody I know say hey guy. Buddy is one that I would say the people I know use the most.
Dude has left my vocabulary for the most part, except if I'm like, "Dude, look at this." There's no
but if
hey
it's someone
dude.
that you don't really know, if you're calling them dude, it seems kind of like
The most condescending.
like you're trying to start a fight.
Here's-
Or pal.
Yeah, well, I like a hey pal. But the most condescending thing you can do is if you know a guy's name who's like Dave, and you're like, "Oh, hey Derek," you just call him by like the wrong name.
I did that to somebody one time on purpose because the
Brett,
guy
and he
was
goes
such a
like, "Brent."
tool. I had to call him by the wrong name to
That
humble him.
Is
Yeah.
for some reason that fires me up beyond belief.
Okay, kid. I think kid is bad. Let me see. Sweetie or honey. What are other ones for girl?
Like if you bachelorette party, you don't know half the squad.
I say ladies.
Ladies. Just plural. Where do you
Oh
fall
God,
on?
if it's plural, I don't know if I like hey ladies at all.
That's what I thought you meant.
No, if it's one girl, like
You say
hey lady,
ladies?
I say
Oh,
no,
lady.
hey lady.
Oh, okay.
If it's a group of like I'm in a bachelorette text right now.
Where do you fall in like hey bitch?
Hey bitch. Hey bitches.
Yeah.
I hate it. I'm thinking of like work emails like dear all instead like dear all. We're gonna get
Sincerely, regards.
Sincerely, time to get turned. I don't know. There's not a whole lot for girls that are good that aren't cringy at all. But I really particularly do not like to be called sweetie by anybody.
Okay. Where do you fall on pet names and relationships?
I think that the only two that should ever be used are babe or baby. Or like something funny that's like an inside joke is cute, but like you don't say it in front of other people, you know? Like sugar bear, like that's cute to like keep to, you know, like if you have something funny that you say, like keep it to yourself. I have some really embarrassing ones I could say, but I'm not going
like
to
muffin?
To like roast
Like, hey,
my
muffin?
boyfriend and I who call each other stupid things.
I call dogs muffin.
But
Caroline
we
got me
don't do
that,
it on
but-
purpose. It's just like something funny that we saw that day that's like funny that we say a couple times and then like we move on to the next thing. But we're not like saying anything super cheesy.
Give me one of your weird name. Like, what do you say?
No.
Like, hey, muskrat. Like,
Muskrat.
I don't know.
No, I'm not going to say.
Hey,
I'm
Rhino.
getting red. I'm like sweating.
Oh,
no.
my God.
But okay, I think babe and baby are the only ones you can say. But I hate the people that are like out in public that are like, hey babe, 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 like screaming at each other and like they don't ever use their real names in public. Like I hate that.
I'm very down for like a hey babe around the house. Like a
Yeah.
hey babe.
Around the house, I feel
Yeah.
like in front of other people is where it kind of makes other people uncomfortable.
That's fair. That's fair. I need to be in person to feel that, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
But we all know
Yeah.
those couples that only call each other babe like in front of everybody, and it's just like they're screaming across the room like babe, and it's like we get it.
A baby in public. I don't
A
think-
baby in public, no.
I don't think I'm going there.
You
I
shouldn't
don't
go
think I'm
there.
going.
Okay, wait. Hun, I hate hun. Like just Hun.
I don't think I've ever dropped a hun.
Honey. Oh, honey's on
Sweetheart.
here already. But the way he spelled it, for some reason, it didn't click with me. Sweetheart. Sweetheart's fine. Doesn't really bother me. I just really don't like hun. Sweet cheeks.
Yikes.
Okay, so this is, I know this super creepy guy. I think I've shown you these texts before, Brett.
Oh boy.
And actually, I know somebody else who knows this guy. And like every few months, he'll just like throw out a text. I think he mass texts every single female name in his phone. And he'll say like the creepy, I don't reply. I need to just block the number.
Yeah.
But it'll be like, hey, honey pot, or like every single time it's like the strangest pet name.
Ugh.
And my coworker and I, who also gets them, whenever either of us used to get them, it's been a very long time. We would always send them to each other like they'd come within minutes of each other. Which he's just cranking out these texts when you saying like the creepiest things.
There was that
Like
sentence could have been.
hottie, like yeah. Even Randy is laughing.
No,
Wait,
that sentence just could have been worded so much
What did-
different. And let's go to the.
what did
let's
I
go to
say?
the nothing. Let's go to the next one.
what did
Kayla.
I say? I didn't get it. Now I'm hot and sweating because
Oh,
I'm
boy.
nervous.
Here we
Wait,
go.
what did I say?
Next one.
I didn't catch it. I need to know. I'm so uncomfortable.
This one comes from Rob. Rob says, "Hey, Kayla and Brett, my girlfriend and I."
Was it cranking them out? Did
Yeah,
I
it
say
was cranking
cranking
'em
them out?
Within minutes of each other, you said.
I'm so sorry. I thought Randy was laughing at how funny that. I thought I said something
No.
really funny, but
Randy
it
and I
wasn't.
made eye contact, and that's when it got funny. And
I thought he was laughing with me, not at me.
no, we
so
were laughing at you.
okay, sorry. Continue.
This one comes from Rob. Rob says, "My girlfriend and I have been dating for about 8 months, and lately things have started to get pretty rocky. We've now decided to go on a break. I think we've all been here before and probably have an idea of where things are going. But I care about her a lot, and I don't want to give up just yet. But there's also definitely some big disagreements going on that we don't know how to address. What's the move here? What's the best way to handle a break, Kayla?"
The first answer here is a little thing called space. You ever heard of it?
Absolutely
Yep.
the answer. We don't even have to
Yeah.
railroad this one into oblivion. This is a space answer
Yeah.
through and through.
I would also note that you need to, while you're taking this space, you really need to sit and think very hard on these big disagreements.
Mhm.
Potentially, I'm a big, supporter of mental health. So this isn't necessarily even mental health, but if you have a therapist or you could possibly see a therapist, could afford to, I would say that's something that you should also think about doing, is speaking with somebody professionally about this, just so they can kind of coach you through how to handle the potential of getting back together and working through these disagreements. Because it could be things that are like, if it's a non-negotiable for you, then that's the kind of thing where you have to really just probably go your separate ways. If it's a non-negotiable, that is.
Space is the answer, and I know it'll feel hard in the moment to not check up on.
I'm
Come
sorry.
on.
The fact that we went into this question after you guys were laughing at me saying, cranking
know,
them
I
out,
know.
I haven't.
We have a fiduciary to help Rob here.
I
Fiduciary
know,
commitment.
but I keep breaking.
Speaking of breaking, what's the best way to handle the break, Kayla? Space is the answer, because you are going to want to text this person. You're going to want to call this person. You're going to want to look at this person on Instagram. Time heals all, and that's the most true saying I think I've ever come across. Being blunt, you need to just let this go, Rob.
Oh, so you think that they shouldn't try
No,
to
I don't. I think
work it out?
I don't think that. I think let go and have space between y'all.
Okay.
And don't don't do fake space where it's like you don't talk to each other all day and then you have a 2-hour phone conversation each
No,
night.
you don't see each other. You don't talk. I think you also
really-
should set a time limit on it. Like, you should do a hard break for maybe a month or a couple of weeks where you have absolutely no contact. And then you can ease after that month has gone by, or however long you do the hard break for. You think about where you want to go, how you feel about it. If you feel like you want to keep trying to make it work, and so does she, then you start to ease into, maybe you start to just date again. Like, you start from the beginning, back to basics. Like, you go from probably seeing each other frequently to, maybe just seeing each other a few times a week, like going on just like a dinner date, and then going home to your own places. And then you slowly ease into the more of like a full-on relationship.
Yeah. I understand the catch-22 here and the advice we're giving, which is, he says, hey, we have some disagreements. The best way to handle a disagreement is communication. The worst way to handle a break is communication. So I understand that feels a little two-sided, but think about where the disagreements are coming from and whether the break is because of these or because of something else. Like, is there an attraction issue? Is there a
trust issue?
Right. Where do the disagreements
timing,
stem from?
Yeah.
And realize that probably at the root of that, the space is going to alleviate some of these concerns.
Yeah, and then again during the break is when you can really take maybe like this sounds will probably roast me for saying this, but even like a journal, like write down your thoughts and how you're feeling, just so that you can make sure you're keeping track of all that and you have it all in one place, and just like how you're feeling over time, and write down maybe things that have come up in your mind that you would like to talk about, but because you're not communicating, you can't address yet. Just like keep a note of things that you want to talk about once you are able to.
The other important thing here is that when you have a communication gap, to fill that communication with somebody else, whether it's a friend or a therapist or a, like you don't let it just sit in your own head all day. You still want to be talking. You still need to communicate. You need to communicate your feelings. You need to handle this situation outside your own head, which I felt has helped me in the past. Is like, if I just need to have a break or need space, it's still talking to somebody else about what I'm feeling or what my day is like. Like stuff like that can be, compartmentalized into something different.
Now, there's one thing that I'm going to say that goes back to a show we all know and love called Friends. Now, this is where you need to be very clear on some things. Like, if you're on a break, you need to discuss if you are seeing other people.
Sure.
Because if it's not discussed and then one person assumes that you are, then they go off and do something that is, unforgivable for the other person. So I do think if you're going to take a solid break, you need some sort of, not rules, but like an outline of how you're proceeding, because you just want to make sure that you're on the same page. And so if you are both not open to seeing other people, then you are not seeing other people. Like,
Yeah. But I don't think you should be scared of
you should maybe entertain but
don't be scared of allowing them to do that. Yeah. You don't want to be the break where it's a hard communication exit, but also hard rules on not seeing other people is just going to create this anxiety, like mishmash that you don't want or you don't need. Like a break should constitute a break. You are free. I am free. It is entirely up to y'all about what you do outside, and that will help you the quickest and the most in this relationship.
Then you may go on a date with somebody, and then you realize how much you don't want to do that, and how you just want to be with your person. And that the dating thing can either, if you're on the same page and you discuss it and it's made clear that that's what you're going to be doing, I think it's really helpful to not necessarily get it out of your system, but just to do it so that you're not, I don't know, thinking about doing bad things. Just
agreed. Let's go, before we go to the next one, I'm going to tell you guys about how I word emails here. You know how I get more deals done, Kayla?
How?
Grammarly. It's my favorite plugin on the internet.
Oh, wow.
Because you know what it does?
What does it do?
Improves everything about my written word, from emails to texts to like writing up a document to agreements and deals that we do. Grammarly has been there for me. I have a problem in my emails that I get too lengthy.
Oh.
I like to
shocked.
I like to stream of consciousness my emails, which is fine in a text and fine in a,
I don't know. I do think that sorry, go on.
I get stream of consciousness to the point where the email almost becomes unreadable. Grammarly has basically fixed that entire problem for me. To be clear, Grammarly effectively gives you better communication, more than just catching spelling mistakes. Grammarly Premium offers you real-time feedback and insights to help elevate your writing through tone, word choice, clarity, and more. Because we get so many messages and documents, things start to blend together or sound the same. So more effective writing is the key to making better connections. I have found that out firsthand. Do you have a situation, Kayla, when you're doing writing where it's like, oh, fuck, I get bad at this?
Sometimes I do feel like I think too much about it.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, oh, do I sound too excited? Do I sound a little spicy and rude? I like the idea of being checked.
It also helps you expand your vocabulary by replacing boring or bland words with ones that are more exciting.
That's
How about
good.
that?
Yeah.
Grammarly Premium helps you write like a pro with advanced real-time feedback. This is how you level up your writing for work, school, or in-personal projects. And premium features include advanced suggestions on grammar, punctuation, sentence structure, and style. It's the perfect writing tool for anyone who wants to stand out with every word. I want you to harness the power of Grammarly on every platform with their desktop editor, browser plugin, and mobile apps to improve your writing in every sense of the word: Outlook, Gmail, Twitter, LinkedIn, and more. Don't just say it, make a statement with clear, flawless text that's sure to impress. Grammarly doesn't just correct your grammar mistakes. It helps you build your skills as a writer. It also has a feature that tells you how likely the person is to respond.
Oh.
Which I'm all about.
Based on just how you worded everything?
Yep. So
That's
it's like
awesome.
your respondability meter is like red, yellow, or green.
Is this works with text too?
Yeah, works with everything.
People need that.
So here's the deal. Elevate your writing with 20% off Grammarly Premium by signing up at Grammarly.com/mail, M-A-I-L. That's 20% off Grammarly Premium at Grammarly.com/mail. Do a voicemail?
Voicemail.
Come, I got to be better with that, Kayla.
Kayla, Brett, I'm pretty near about 30 now, and getting older means, the group dynamics switch more to dinner parties and stuff over the last couple of years. It's customary to take the host, a little hostess gift. I think, bottle of wine is what, most people do. However, here's my issue. I don't drink, and part of that is, personally, I don't similarly provide alcohol either, so I don't, taking a bottle of wine kind of out of the question for me. So I was wondering, what are some other good sort of hostess gifts? I'll typically take like a case of topo or something, or pick up a cheesecake from a bakery or something. But I was kind of wondering, what are some ideas you all might have for some sober hostess gifts? Yeah, love to hear your thoughts. Bye.
Well, that's from our buddy up there. Who knows? Canada, North Dakota. Well,
I need to know
something
where
up
he's
there.
from.
What a guy.
What a voicemail.
Dinner parties, Kayla.
Dinner parties.
You know that episode?
I love dinner party. That's the best episode of television in the history of the world.
I was doing that to be a basic bitch, and you just ate it up.
It's my favorite episode of TV ever.
Oh my God.
I'm a candle maker, but you don't see me talking about
this. We have to move on.
Speaking of candles, candles are a great hostess gift.
Nice segue.
Get one from like the fake Etsy ones that make the Jan candles from The Office.
Shouts to this guy too. That's like the first thing on his mind going to dinner parties.
No one ever brings me gifts.
I'm a bottle of wine guy, but this guy's like that's not his jam. So candles are great. Also cutting boards.
No one ever brings me hostess gifts. Any of my dinner parties, I always just tell people BYOB, like I'm supplying you food, just show up with your own alcohol.
Okay.
And 8 times out of 10 people will show up with just alcohol for themselves, and no one brings me like, this is for you, we're thanking you for this. But I will say candles are phenomenal. Maybe some flowers.
Okay.
I do love the idea of a dessert, but you also should probably make sure that whoever is cooking, he or she, is not preparing a dessert. Because if I'm slaving over a dessert and then somebody walks in with like some patisserie cheesecake from some incredible bakery and then it overshadows like something I made, like I'm going to be a little upset. So if you're going to do that, I would double check. If you're going to bring any kind of food item, I definitely think you should check with the hostess first and make sure she or he is not preparing something of that nature. Like you said earlier, like maybe a charcuterie. Make sure that she does not, or I keep saying she, that they are not preparing an appetizer that they have taken time and effort to put into. Then you bring cheese and meats and everyone's going nuts, and then their appetizer is collecting dust.
Agreed, because the first step in the process is, hey, can I bring anything? When they inevitably say no, say, okay, so that takes food out of the equation.
Takes food out.
Which means you go to the gift. I said cutting board, not charcuterie board.
Oh, I thought you said charcuterie.
That's if like, hey, what can I bring? They're like,
maybe an app.
Yeah, bring an app. That's a no-brainer charcuterie board. But cutting board, I have pizza stones. I have pizza stones out the ass. engraved with my initials.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Just a random dinner party?
wedding gift gone
I
wrong.
would be
Well,
I would
just haven't-
probably honestly shed a tear if somebody brought me an engraved cutting board. Like I would be so thankful. I would probably just fall
Well,
to my knees and start to cry.
It's got my initials in it, though.
Oh, why would you take someone a cutting board with your initials?
This is the pizza stone thing. It's a long story. I was getting my buddy a wedding gift. Instead of putting 1, I put 15 in the thing, and I was like, wow, these are expensive. And long story. I was like, the engraving,
got
though.
15
I have
cutting
15
boards.
pizza stones.
Oh,
would
that's
like one.
great. Maybe the best place that I would say to find little cute things to take, maybe hit up your local Anthropology. They have incredible like gift items.
I thought they got canceled.
Anthropology?
Yeah, maybe not.
I don't even care what they did, honestly.
Oh, okay.
I love Anthropology. I take it back if it was something really bad, then I care. But I haven't heard of it, so I'm assuming it's not that bad.
Okay, that's fair.
But Anthropology has a great selection of candles, like not incense. What are those? Oh, diffusers.
Ooh.
And around Christmas, they have great ornaments. I think an ornament is a great gift if it's like a Christmas party.
I like that.
If it is Thanksgiving, maybe a pie plate. A cake stand is good. Something if we're going all out here.
Hello, I bought you a cake stand.
Oh, cake stand, like a beautiful cake stand is incredible.
I don't think I'm getting that. I think
Or-
let's go. We're getting.
I'm thinking, okay,
candles
maybe.
are great.
Okay, so everyone likes to
tapers.
do like an after dinner espresso. So maybe, how could you? And you can't bring espresso.
I got you an espresso maker. It's hundreds of dollars.
I want to invite whoever that is to my party. I'm trying to think. Maybe like some nice napkins, like not dinner napkins, but you know what I mean. Like again, Anthropology oven mitts. I just really think that you go candle flowers.
I'm picturing.
Now I'm just thinking of things that I want.
I know. I'm picturing like Kayla hosts a dinner party,
And you show up with oven mitts.
and I bring in oven mitt.
I would be
Hello.
so thankful. I love
People that are also there, like,
I'm
dude, I brought a bottle of like
accustomed
duck horn.
to nobody bringing me anything that honestly you could show up and give me one single like spoon and I would be so excited. Okay. I'm just gonna say candle, flowers, diffuser, gosh, a plant? A cute
plant.
plant? I don't need any more plants. So if any
Why did you bring him a puppy,
like a plant,
living
cute,
animal.
like little succulent.
a succulent? Here's a cactus.
Oh,
Don't
some,
hurt yourself.
Some cheeses that maybe won't be eaten that night, but like
Some cheeses
for them.
Okay.
Just thinking, you're making fun of all my
I am.
answers. I do think that the Topo Chico is a good one.
I love how he brings
then,
a case of Topo
but
Chico.
then he has something to, you know, what we were talking about not drinking last week, having something to make you feel like you're part of the activity. A Topo Chico is the perfect segue. I don't like them, but
You know what the Topo
it's
Chico
nice.
reminds me of? This is something that I'm about to all guys and not all girls. So hear me out here.
oh god.
There's always a situation at a dinner party, maybe with somebody you don't know very well, where the boys go out to get a drink from the outdoor fridge or the outdoor cooler. And I'm picturing the case of Topo Chico like in their garage, and they like run into each other on the outside. It's like, oh, hey, oops, let me
With
scooch
the
by you here.
Topos?
Yeah, because the girls always stay inside and they're like bantering Love Island style, and the guys are always they go out to get a beer from the outdoor fridge and bump into each other. It's like, oh, hey, some spread in there, huh?
Okay.
You're looking at me like that was I'm canceled. Was that sexist?
No, it wasn't, but I get
every
what
every
you
guy out
mean.
there is like, I know the
But
garage.
I don't know.
I've been
I'm
to
usually I'm
Jerry Breadstick's garage. I was there.
I want to be at Jerry Breadstick's garage. Okay. Anyways, I don't know that there's anything else. Candles.
Just
I'm gonna Google
I think candles perfect.
hostess gifts. I just want to see what the old Google
Cupcakes?
machine has to say. No, that plays into food.
That was a hostess cupcake joke anyway.
Oh, hostess cupcakes. Okay, I get it. Oh, if let's see, like a platter is nice, like a serving platter.
People
like
are-
some nice soaps.
Some nice soaps.
You're gonna laugh at me.
Some.
again.
How about some fudge?
Some candies,
Maybe a model
like
rocket.
some chocolates that are for them, that they're not for serving. You know, like a nice box of chocolates is good.
A bag of Starbursts.
Okay,
Oh, pink ones
you're
only.
making fun of all these, and I think they're really good.
I think your first two were great, and then you've gone off the rails.
No, I do think that chocolates and a really nice, oh my God, like some jams. Oh, I'm getting hungry.
You know what the difference between jam and jelly is?
No.
Let's go to the next one.
This one is just a giant sausage sampler plate. I just saw.
This one comes from No Name. No Name asks us, "Hey, Brett and Kayla, love you guys and the pod. So I've been talking to this guy for a little while, and I think I like him and want to see where things go. Here's the problem. He's a horrible texter." Uh-oh. Like, I always feel like I always have to start the convo, but once it's started, the convo is great. We've had a few FaceTime dates, and the convos during those have been awesome too, but like, in context, but like when it comes to initiating anything, it's zilch from him. Is he just being nice and I let this guy go, or should I try to push more? Thank you, love you.
Okay, No Name. I'm going to give you a little suggestion. It's time for
Hey, girl.
movie night. Hey, girl. Suggestion. There's
Okay.
there's a little movie, and I'm not trying to be harsh, but
Movie night with this guy.
a movie night alone,
Oh.
and it's called He's Just Not That Into You. And it's hard to say this because I'm rooting for you, but a lot of times we don't realize this. Like, women, we try to think, okay, well, maybe he's just been busy today and hasn't had a chance and hasn't like thought to text me. But at the end of the day, what this movie teaches women is that if a guy wants to talk to you, he will talk to you. He will make the effort to speak to you. And that's the main thing that I want you to take away from the movie, is seeing it happen in real time is the push you need to like bring that, I guess I'm going to call it like a lifestyle mantra motto into your life. It's just, that's what I told myself. If they want to talk to me, they'll talk to me. They'll make it happen. So that's...
As a they in this situation.
Oh, yeah. You are they.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I hate to be harsh to No Name, and I'm sorry.
We need to give her a name. I don't like saying No Name. Katie.
Now, there's scenarios, for example, like playing Xbox, where Kayla just rolled her eyes so hard. Like playing Xbox or PS4 or 5 if you're lucky, where
5 if you're lucky.
the responses can get a little lengthy in between.
That makes sense because you're in between breaks and you're just replying to everything and then you're going back to the game.
Yeah, if he touches you once every 25 minutes, it's very, very, people know what he's doing. He's playing video games because that's like the time of a Call of Duty game. But
this seems like he's just not initiating at all.
if he's not initiating, that's a problem. Is there a Snapchat relationship? I also wanna know that.
If there is, if he's not texting you but he's Snapchatting you, get rid of him. I'm sorry. I can't. Don't get me started on that.
Please.
But there's nothing I hated more than a dude who will not reply to your text message, but will send you a fucking Snapchat of something so stupid that. And then you reply to that because you just want to reply because you're like, okay, well, he sent that to 20 other girls. Like, that's the thing you have to get through your brain. It's like the bat signal was what that was. He was putting out the bat signal.
The Brad signal?
The Brad. Yeah, his name will be Brad. He's putting out the Brad signal and seeing who replies. And then he'll just talk to you on there and not send you a formal text message. That is so terrible. Like, no, stop talking to him. Don't do it. Don't do it. The point is the initiation. The way that I would do it is if someone's not replying to me or they're not texting me, I would maybe reach out 2 times and see what happens. Like, see how the conversation goes, then it dies. And then if I don't hear from them again, I'll do it one more time. And then if they don't reply to me ever again after that, then it's dead.
I'm going to go one further. You get 2 texts and a story response.
Well, see, that you're bringing Snapchat in as if we don't know.
I'm doing Instagram.
Instagram.
Now.
Okay.
Story response is where all good relationships go to die.
Yeah. Or she's over here posting stories and she's seeing that he's watching them, but then he's not texting her. That's annoying. I just think it's the lack of initiation for me. It shows a lack of interest.
Agreed. Unfortunately, this is a case where I'm going to say, let's move on.
We had to give you the hard truth, and we're sorry. We're
Yep.
rooting for you, but you deserve better than this guy.
Absolutely. There's somebody has everybody out there. That was not right. Everybody has somebody is what I was going for. I'm hopped up on Liquid IV.
I feel like that's a song, like everybody or somebody.
It definitely
Got
is.
it, everybody. Yeah, okay. Anyways,
Everybody
look out for my
wants to-
new single, Everybody.
Yep. Initiation is a form of interest that you have to consider.
Yes. Okay,
Or-
next question.
Throw up a thirst trap and see if you get that double tap.
Brett.
What?
Don't encourage that
I'm
because
just saying.
so many we've all been there. We're like, we'll look really good and post a picture and just like see if they see it or like reply to it. And then what happens if they like heart eye emoji reaction? Like then I'm mad.
Then we're back to the whole
Then I'm pissed
ball
off.
game.
Like, why can't you text me? But yet you can heart eye emoji me.
That's when you'll get a response and then you don't text back.
See, that is the ultimate power move. But also then you're thinking like, what if I would have replied? What would have happened? Maybe they would have replied to me and then we would have been talking. No, you don't think that way. You just move on. You just don't say anything.
you just like snapped into like old school style. Like, oh my God.
I have
women brain.
PTSD. Ugh. Okay.
Last
That's
one?
what happens. Yeah. Okay. Can I read this one?
Sure.
You've taken over all of the reading ones. This comes from Sydney. Help. I'm in my mid-20s living in an apartment in Chicago.
Randy.
I love where I live, but my upstairs neighbors are driving my roommate and I insane. They're constantly playing music and watching TV at the loudest possible volume. They have hordes of people over every day of the week. They're always rearranging their furniture. We've heard them fighting and something that sounds like tap dancing. Lots of question marks. Do either of you happen to have any tips on how to deal with noisy neighbors? How do we approach the situation? Do we even approach the situation? Or should we just chill and live our lives? I'll shut up and listen. Thanks for all you do. ILY Washed Media.
That means I love you.
Exclamation. Yeah, but she didn't type it out, so I'm reading it as she.
My answer to this question has changed over the years.
Okay.
Because I used to be the non-confrontational, I'm just going to let it happen. I have no defense. There's nothing I'm going to do about it. I'm going to sit there and take the beating.
Oh.
Now, I feel like I have dad strength, and I have gone to my neighbor, knocked on their door, and said, why is it noisy all the time?
You went face to face?
Face to face.
Oh, I've never done that. I've left notes, very passive-aggressive notes,
he's-
but I've never gone face to
And he
face.
said, dude,
Wait, you hate confrontation,
I
so
do.
I am shocked.
this is the neighbor to behind my couch. And
Okay.
it wasn't yelling, it was bassy, is that a word? Bassy music.
Heavy bass.
Heavy bass. And I said, hey, I get it. I wanted to come here. I'm not going to do a note under the door. I'm not going to do something weird. I just wanted to say, I think the walls are a little thinner than you might think. Cool with the music. Can we turn down the bass? And he goes, dude, I didn't realize the walls were thin.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm sorry.
See,
and it
that's
was
the best
over.
case scenario is they don't realize that they're being as loud. When
Also
it's
can
music,
hear them having sex every night.
Oh.
That's another
every
thing.
night.
Every
Good
night.
for them.
And it's to the point where it sounds like a dog barking, and I don't know if it is a dog barking or sex. The other apartment that I could hear every night was definitely sex, and that was aggressive. The other guys are on the other side, and it's either a dog barking or violent shrieking sex. I don't know. Walls are relatively thin at
Okay,
the old
so
apartment complex.
you happen to have an expert on this
Okay.
talking to you right now. I lived above a bar. So I have been here, even though the noise was coming from below. So my apartment faced the street. The bar was below me. And their patio also faced the same street. So I could hear full conversations from people. I would hear full sporting events. They would have open mic nights. I could sing along if I wanted to. It was so loud.
Oh, that's fun.
But in this case, with loud neighbors, I think your first thing is you email your apartment complex, and you tell them to formally complain to
Yeah.
them,
Mm-hmm.
so that it's not so, I don't know. I think
If-
because it's a combination of things. Like yours was like just music.
Mhm.
This sounds like they're doing a lot of stuff.
Agreed.
So just email the leasing office
That's
or
the
your
ease.
landlord.
If you're not into confrontation, which I totally get because I am not, and I
That's
still
me,
my
yeah.
upstairs neighbor still makes noise, and I'm not going to go upstairs. I get that. That's the first way to don't be passive aggressive with a note. Hit the apartment complex first.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a good start.
Yes.
Do you have a second option or step number 2? Perhaps?
Step number 2 would probably be leaving a note. With maybe you take something like it's the very beginning of quarantine.
Yeah.
When I was working out in my living room, I knew I was making a lot of noise, and I
Okay.
felt very bad about it. Like when I bought my mini trampoline, I would jump on it.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
You bought a
Anyways,
mini
we're just
fucking
going to
trampoline?
just glaze over that. Whenever I would use my mini trampoline, my below neighbors would like take a broom or something and bang it up at me.
Oh.
That to me is not what you do, because that fueled the fire.
Yeah.
The more they banged up at me, the more I wanted to do it. But I
Mm-hmm.
didn't, because I was nice. My below neighbors apparently are very sensitive though, because one time
So you are these people in the email.
no, I'm not. I got an email from my apartment complex one morning telling me, like, with a noise complaint.
Yeah.
And I had to reply back and say, you have the wrong apartment, or they are very confused because I drank a whole bottle of wine last night and passed out at 10 p.m. watching The Witcher. So you have the wrong gal. If you need proof, I can show you. But, like, I was definitely, they were like, they heard noises up till 3 a.m. Like, I was definitely passed out drunk
Okay.
at that point. So it
Got
was
it.
not me. But I would say maybe take like some cookies or something and write a note and ask them to stop. Because what I was going to do before they started banging up at me
Mm-hmm.
was take cookies with a note saying, like, I apologize for the noise. I have to work out in my apartment. If you can just, for 45 minutes at least, please just like spare me. You know, I have nothing else to do, like to work out.
Yeah.
My above neighbor works out every single day at 11:30 a.m. I hear it every morning. It's clockwork. I know what he's going through, so I just let it happen.
Yeah. There's part of me, I hate the confrontation part of it. And I always wonder, what are they doing? Why is it?
Bowling.
Why is it?
Who knows?
And
Tap dancing.
It sounds like maybe a dog or people. It's just heavy thing. And it's like, you douche, you douche.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. And it was going on so long. I'm like, they're not moving furniture. It's way past that stage of the move. And now it's ceased to exist entirely. So I think they're gone. But
Well,
I want to tell you guys to go knock on their door and don't be confrontational. Like, don't befriend them, but be like, hey, like, we're so and so. Nice to meet you guys. What are we doing? Like, what do you guys do all day? Like, why is this happening? And once you're friendly enough, don't come at them with attitude. That's when we can start getting to the root of the problem. And I know that's easier said than done. But.
yeah, I think you do have to start out very nice.
Yep.
Like, first, maybe you email whoever you can.
Yeah.
If it continues, then you leave a note, just like asking them to please keep it down.
That you have to go to them first before
Oh
you
my
do the
God.
note. I know it's terrifying.
I would rather do anything than go upstairs and knock on my neighbor's door and tell them to be quiet.
the passive aggressive note.
I couldn't do it.
will fuel the fire.
I'm a big note. I will leave notes on cars that park bad, that piss me off. Like,
Oh, you are the person. You are the person that everybody's like, look
if
at this
someone,
fucking person.
Oh, well, okay. Back when I was going into an office and parking in a parking garage every day, cars, the spots are very small and there's not a whole lot of them. And so people would park over the line, and then I would park my car, and then the person would park in the empty spot next to me, completely leaving me no room to get into my vehicle. One time I had to crawl through the passenger side back door to get into my car.
Yeah.
And I was so fired up at this point that I was like, I am leaving a note because I am so mad.
I know it's the easy way out, but face to face, these things get fixed much
So after
quicker.
face to face, okay, so you go up, you face your fears, you say something.
Nothing
Then
changes.
it continues. Then you leave a note.
Yeah. Then you note, and like I agree with the apartment complex email first, face to face second. note third and like then confrontational note and confrontational face to face.
But I do say the thing you don't do is bang up at your roof, because
Correct,
that just like, I once was just grating carrots in my kitchen because I was making a carrot cake. I was standing completely still grating carrots and they were banging up at me. Like I wasn't even moving my feet.
I know. I know.
And it just makes me mad.
I also like when the noise is happening above me, I always wanted to like video camera. Like what is that? What is that ridiculous sounding?
You take it,
like,
you show up. Please explain me what this noise is.
Why is this doing this? But
yeah, I don't. It sounds like they're tapping and moving the furniture. Okay, hearing them fight would be something that would be. I would not enjoy that. That would make me very nervous and anxious. But I would definitely turn down everything I'm doing to listen. Yeah. But I would. I want to hear it, but it would make me nervous. Okay, so we have a 3-step program, I guess.
3-step program. That does it for questions. But, Kayla, do you have any shower thoughts?
Okay, so my shower thought. So everyone has heard about how Taylor Swift is re-recording her albums and putting them out. We got a first taste last week of one of the upcoming songs. So to prepare, I've been re-listening to these albums that I haven't really heard in full since they came out years ago. Mm-hmm. And what I'm prepared to say is that we, as a whole, are just not prepared for this. Like,
what does that mean?
Emotionally and mentally. These songs, I listened to the Fearless album yesterday in my kitchen. Hearing these songs for the first time in years, as an almost undisclosed age, 30,
24.
as an almost 30-year-old, hearing these songs like as a full ass adult and like feeling the nostalgia and the emotions, like I don't know what's going to happen to me when I hear new versions of them. Like I don't know that I'm mentally prepared.
They're the same lyrics, correct?
Yeah, but it's going to be in a whole different, it's like, this is so cheesy, and I don't really even consider myself a Swiftie, but I love early Taylor Swift, and I loved the excitement of like midnight releases, decoding all the things in the little booklet. And I really do like her music from the early years is very just like nostalgic for me. It got me through things, which I hate that I'm even saying that out loud. It's embarrassing, but
yeah, I got you.
But now that her core fan group from the beginning, we are now, old. We are grown-ups. People have children and husbands and mortgages. And, like, we're a whole...
And healthy relationships that they're, like, wanting to break down. Because
exactly. And so now, like, it's like, am I going to regress and, like, and feel, like, be as sad? And, like, just these emotions that you feel listening to these songs are so... Like, I can't. God. You tie it to so many things. I feel crazy. Oh, I regret this. I regret it so much. Okay, I'm going to erase the shower thought. This never happened. And my new shower thought is that I walked into the studio with a whole head of pink hair, and not one person in here said a word to me about it.
Well, here's the thing with pink hair. We didn't know if you're going through something.
I'm going to Miami, and I want to have fun, so I dyed my hair pink. Anyway, so that's my backup.
Usually, like
my replacement shower.
Pandemic pink hair means like.
Okay, I was one of the first people to do pandemic pink hair. I did it in April last year, and then the whole internet did it after me. I started it. Okay.
Okay. Gwyneth Paltrow over there.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so we're forgetting that the first shower thought happened, and we're just gonna go straight into this.
Cool.
Brett, what's yours?
My shower thought is brought on by the current internet trend to get rich quick in any number of schemes.
We're talking like GameStop shit right now?
We're talking GameStop. Okay. We're talking Bitcoin. We're talking Top Shot. We're talking
let you take it.
Crypto punks and cryptozoology and this coin and that coin.
Did you say zoology?
Yeah, that's Bigfoot.
You can get rich off of zoology.
No, that was just a crypto word that I put in there. The FOMO on this has gotten to the point where I participated.
Oh, you told me. I'm not going to roast you, but I'm disappointed.
I'm in Top Shot. And I've always been anti because the end game for all these things is that there is no end game because they're bubbles. Bitcoin, come at me with the Bitcoin arguments. If you have all the Bitcoin in the world, it's not worth anything. Okay? Supply and demand. If you have all the Bitcoin in the world, Doesn't matter because fiat currency is always going to be fiat currency.
Like the car?
The thing about hyperinflation. If Bitcoin is the number one thing in the world, I don't want to live in that world because it means that society has totally collapsed. So sign me up for a ticket to Mars.
I have no idea what
Anyway,
you're talking about.
I'm egging on Bitcoin people to come after me and give me their Bitcoin arguments in the DMs. Please do. I will gladly have that debate with you. So I'm anti that stuff. Now it's
But
just...
you're into digital trading cards.
No, I'm not. I'm not into it. I'm doing it because I'm just like...
Because you got in while it's hot, right?
Yeah,
speak.
I got in early enough on this one that I'm going to do a transaction and wet the beak and then get out of it because these things, there's no tangible value anywhere. And you could go in deeper and say there's no tangible value in this stock of this XYZ company. Like, it's crazy what people on the internet are doing with financial
to make money.
instruments right now to make money, and it's all based on buying and selling, and that selling is in US dollars, and it's just crazy. Everybody needs to calm down. There's a blog by
calm down from the guy who just participated.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not proud of it. I'm not happy with myself.
Okay.
But I'm like, this stupid stuff is just taking over people's minds. And people are like, I got to buy Bitcoin. I got to be in. The only reason you want to be in is to sell down the line because you think it's going to go up astronomically. So you're not even participating in Bitcoin's core, like whatever. Kayla, it's
I don't
just,
get it. So
I need to,
we're
people
gonna
are
leave
just,
you there.
yeah, people are just crazy. Go to the reformedbroker.com and look at the blog Substack Vertigo by Josh Brown.
Instead, you can be like me and invest your money in designer purses.
Always
Those
works
never
too.
lose their value.
At least that's a thing.
Yeah.
At least that's a fucking thing. Just that you can hold.
And if you buy the right ones,
Digital
they don't
gold.
lose their value.
Power
They're
goes out.
classic.
You lose your Bitcoin.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm wishing you luck in your investment, but also, I hope you learn a lesson.
I'm going to. I mean, I hope it crashes and burns and I lose all that because I'm like, thank you. That proves my point. I don't know. It's
okay, well, to conclude.
Yeah, let's conclude this. I can go on for days about this.
Do you want me to read the conclusion?
Yeah, you can conclude.
Brett is clearly upset.
I'm frazzled.
So, please subscribe, rate 5 stars, review, tell a friend. Again, the hotline is 888-362-MAIL, 888-362-6245. You can also write in your questions at the link in the Twitter and Instagram bio at MailInPodcast. And that concludes our show. Brett,
still frazzled.
you need to go have a drink, it looks like. He's very stressed out. No, we're stopping it.
People
no more
keep talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, dude, I gotta buy this, I gotta buy that, I gotta buy crypto kitties and shit like that." It's like,
who are these people? Who are you talking
internet,
to?
just Twitter. It's just Twitter. I gotta stop looking at Twitter.
Mute the words. Cleanse your. I muted the words Lena Dunham, and I'm telling you, my timeline's never been more crisp.
Crispy. All right.
Anyways,
that's it.
Thanks, guys.
You have fun.
Oh, I thought you were signing off. I had a blast.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.